Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today with a few topics. The SEC and its fight against crypto. Then I have a few other political things here. I have something for you, news, that will probably make you need to go to the bathroom to throw up. I can't say it any other way. That's how I felt. I was really angry. Then, of course, a look at the charts. Just briefly, I am not a chart analyst. I am not a trader. But take a look at XRP. Take a look at Bitcoin. I already covered that in the last live stream. I will go over it again as we have broken out upwards with Bitcoin through the bullish flag and the triangle is tightening for XRP. But now just a note. I am not providing financial or investment advice. And I will start now with a post from Paul Gravel, the Chief Legal Officer of Coinbase. Just a little reminder, today Coinbase submitted an important and significant amicus brief on behalf of the noteworthy Bieber collection and Fundify to actively stop the ongoing and destructive regulatory campaign being vigorously waged by the SEC against law-abiding American companies. The most destructive thing is that the SEC can't even decide what it means. But the law is absolutely clear. In fact, here, watch the video. These are the statements, examples of the statements that the SEC has made in court or from Congress as well. Is a digital asset a security? No. 2018, yes. 2021, no. 2024, yes. 5 days later, no. 8 months later. Is Bitcoin a security? No. Maybe. No. Can the SEC regulate digital asset exchanges? Can the SEC regulate digital exchanges? No. 2021? Yes. 2022? And this no in 2021 actually came from Mr. Gary Gensler himself. You can't make this up. Is the existing law clear? No. 2020. Yes. 2023. He continues writing, the SEC states, the existing rules for digital assets are functioning. However, there is no indication of when the rules will apply and how companies may be able to comply with them for digital assets. In the meantime, companies must certainly deal with retroactive penalties from the SEC if they have not achieved the impossible. One cannot swim through the ocean without oxygen tanks. That is the regulatory requirements of the SEC. Come in and register. It just doesn't work because the law is simply not clear. Now let me talk about the SEC case against Ripple. Do you remember Patrick Doody? Look, crypto cowboy. Do you remember when we excluded the SEC expert Patrick Doody, not Doody, in the Ripple lawsuit? Do you remember when Doody was excluded from testifying by Judge Torres in the case? Doody says that the statement was excluded from the presentation, which meant that Doody was commissioned by the SEC to analyze these buyer expectations that were crucial for the decision on whether XRP should be considered a security. This was a major setback for the SEC's case, as it had to prove that investors had a reasonable expectation of profits arising from Ripple's efforts. That was the guy who said, yes, every investor, including those 75,000 Amicus signers or clients of Johnny Clayton, all had profit expectations, and that's why it's a security. He didn't talk to a single one. Not one. But now it's going to get even crazier. Here it gets interesting. Patrick Doody was also involved in the legal complaint by Doweri against Jorge Tenreiro, who is also part of or has co-signed the Ripple appeal. Doody was an expert whose testimony on the allegations in the lawsuit regarding the misrepresentation of ownership at Kraken and the misappropriation of funds abroad. His statement and its subsequent retraction are part of the evidence presented in the lawsuit against this lawyer Tenreiro. In the Ripple case, we were always ahead of the game. Our efforts to publicly call out Doody for conflicts of interest led to his exclusion from the testimony. This once again proves the misconduct and malicious enforcement of the SEC in all its crypto cases, including Coinbase and Kraken. Cases in which Tenreiro was also involved. And now I come to this lawyer's complaint. Due to professional misconduct and unauthorized interference, potential fraud in court, alleged manipulation and coercion of witnesses, and possible misrepresentation of evidence. The falsification of this evidence was, of course, also related to the reports from this guy, Patrick Doody, who did not speak to anyone and, for example, had to retract his statement in the Kraken case. Did Tenreiro know about this and then he has a problem, the poor guy? Well, let's see. Now let's move on to another story, because the next 2 weeks are going to be really exciting. Here's a tweet from Carbon about Donald J. Trump. Trump is flirting with the idea of making crypto tax-free from a recent interview. They let you, the government, make you pay taxes on crypto, and I don't think that's right. Bitcoin is money, and you have to pay capital gains tax when you buy a coffee with it. I spoke with a friend who says it really shouldn't be taxed, and I agree. Maybe we should abolish taxes on crypto and replace them with tariffs. Be careful. No tax on crypto, only on tokens that are produced in the USA. We want tokens that are made here at home. We don't want Chinese tokens. We say, get the Chinese tokens out of here. Oops. Well, I have talked several times about the connections between the Ethereum Foundation and the Wangjung Group. And when we repeatedly remind ourselves that the Wangjung Group in China has strongly supported Vitalik Buterin and that they are major investors, the signs are evidently very clear. XRP Unleashed. Get ready for the movie that will be available next month on Ripple TV and on Amazon. Well, he talks about Bitcoin as money, and it's really not that simple when he puts it that way. I definitely believe he will have to focus more on Bitcoin than on XRP. Well then, because Bitcoin, wait until Trump figures that out. Crypto with common sense. Coinbase pools 55%, USA, pools 40%. Could it be that Donald Trump potentially wants to accumulate more cryptocurrency like Bitcoin by bringing the miners to America? Well, let's see how this turns out. Well, now I come to this story here. I hope you haven't eaten too much. Look at this, and it's unbelievable. Digital asset investor Jay Clayton is now a crypto cowboy. Incredible. Check it out. I'm not going to watch it again now. That also takes longer. I think it's 3 minutes. Check it out. He sings here the song of crypto and how great it is that you can process payments within seconds and that it is safer and faster. And cheaper. Jake Clayton, who filed the lawsuit against Ripple. Is he trying to save his own skin here, or is he perhaps invested in something else? I talked about it last week. Friends, that he invested in XRP, Ledger, with a company where he is heavily involved in piracy. Maybe he has realized it now. All right, let's move on to Wrath of Kahneman. And now let's get to the news that I love, the news that I enjoy, because I can simply see that things are progressing in the background. Let's move away from the lawsuit. Wrath of Kahneman writes about surveillance. B2C2, A. Property of SBI, meaning a company owned by SBI that collaborates with Ripple. SBI will launch RLUSD, expanding customers' ability to send and receive crypto with OpenPay in Turkey. For more detailed information, please feel free to explore the provided link to Finextra right here. All the links in the order I show you are below in the video description, so please check them out, read up, because I try to pack as much news as possible into the videos, and if you want to know more, click. So, this is an article from Finextra, and now I have to say, the article doesn't even mention the term Ripple. Not once does it mention XRP, Ledger, or XRP. Okay, I'll tell you right away. But here comes the but again. Let's go to B2C2. About B2C2. It is more than just a liquidity provider, it is an article. Directly from the company's homepage, SBI buys B2C2, becoming the first bank to trade with crypto. This is a report from December 14th, 2020. A week before the lawsuit, you can't make this up. Are these coincidences? So as I said, more than just a liquidity reference, this is a pioneer for digital assets that is building the ecosystem of the future. The company has opened up institutional access to crypto by providing reliable liquidity under all market conditions. The success is based on crypto-native technology and continuous product innovation, making it the partner of choice for various institutions worldwide. Yes, now, also in Turkey. The company was founded in 2015 and is owned by the Japanese financial group SBI. B2C2 is headquartered in the United Kingdom and has branches in the USA and Japan. Now, nothing for Ripple and SBI and Japan. They want to start in 2025. Let's go to LinkedIn. B2C2 posted the following, and that was 2 weeks ago instead of 4 years. B2C2 is working with Ripple to provide global liquidity for the new RLUSD stablecoin. Quote, trustworthy. Regulation-compliant stablecoins are essential for building robust, resilient marketplaces for digital assets and support efficient on and off ramping, payments, and the tokenization of assets, commented U.S. CEO Cactus Razi as a leading liquidity provider for institutional tokenization. B2C2 supports the development of corporate solutions across the entire market for digital assets. Yep. Awesome, I'm telling you. Just awesome. And if you watch the video of Clayton now, and then you have this again to feel a bit better, it's moving forward. Such things don't happen overnight. It takes time. Well, we have spent enough time already, and now I will refer to a post by Dark Defender. When Bitcoin dominance is in decline, XRP comes in, the bull run begins. This was also the case in 2017 and 2018. History repeats itself. XRP run, summarized. Now, we will see if it behaves the same way again. Because this triangle is of course also, with the Bitcoin dominance and the XRP price, it sounds familiar to me. More on that later. Now, however, we come to the current chart, and Bitcoin has left this bearish phase. And I have also drawn this green line for you here. So you can see exactly what is coming up for us. It is now at almost nearly, where is it now? At just under $72,000. The all-time high was around $73,400 or so, in that range. I believe that there will be corrections here again in the next 2 to 3 days. But we will first tap on this range again here. And I believe we will tap again around 74,000, 73,000, just to then. Being rejected doesn't always happen overnight. But as I said, the next 2 weeks will be extremely exciting. Then I'll take another look at the XRP chart with our flag. And here we see that we are still in the range. Now, jumping over to eCash, Crypto Countdown, to a breakthrough. And here we have the monthly chart, mind you. XRP, countdown to breakthrough. 2 days. The price target falls to 59.30 cents. This could be our moment, but patience is key. Hashtag XRP Army. Stay stable and strong. 69.30. This means that this is the upper point in the monthly closing of the triangle. If he doesn't break through there, which I personally don't believe he will, he won't get anywhere. Because we will first see in the next 2 weeks, I emphasize this a few more times, that Bitcoin will likely need to break through here. The dominance of Bitcoin is extremely healthy. And while history may not repeat itself, it does rhyme, we will see here. On the way up, with Bitcoin, we are also seeing narratives and more of people moving into Bitcoin. Will that happen? I don't believe in the big word rotation, but let's be surprised. The fact is, Bitcoin pulls the Bitcoin with it, and XRP is simply the only asset with clear regulatory status for me worldwide because it is not a security in and of itself. Now, let's move on to the last piece of news that I have prepared for you. Here's a little warning from me. This is a thread from Bravo Research. The collapse of the US Treasury bond market has begun. This has massive implications for the economy. A complete thread. Here we see, at this point, we have broken through this line. This means that the bond market is really bad. I'm not going to show you everything now. I've already been talking for too long. If you want to see more from me today at 7:30 p.m., there's a live stream and I would be happy if you join. But before I drop the warning message, here's a little buying tip. Thanks for the cool clothes. I can give you a tip. The link is in the video description for our CryptoClothing and More shop, where you can find various logos, different clothes, and more. And now the warning, take profits if we experience a bull run. Many are saying it might only last until spring, maybe just until December. Take profits if Donald Trump wins next Tuesday. I'm considering doing a live stream at night. I'm really tempted. Then it will be that the markets undoubtedly love Republican presidents. There will be an absolutely incredible and truly remarkable surge into every significant market. Whether it's the S&P 500, the Russell, or the DAX, it doesn't matter at all. But be careful. We need to wait for the election first, and on the other hand, we must keep a very close eye on what the quarterly reports of these major companies say. And here is just one example. Volkswagen has announced that it will close at least 3 plants in Germany. That means tens of thousands of jobs. We have already lost 80,000 industrial jobs. Alliance 24. If another 40 were to be added, well, okay. But the suppliers come into play. Also, the suppliers of those suppliers and other service providers that work with everyone. It's simple, let's say something is steaming that hasn't been washed down yet. Be careful. We will see the quarterly reports. And Volkswagen was, as mentioned, a very good example of a company that wants to cut costs, including wage reductions and other layoffs in other plants like the... A downward trend usually occurs when a company's stock price rises after savings are announced. Furthermore, we have an incredible number of companies in the United States that have already announced layoffs, and we will see what the inflation rate does Next week is the FOMC meeting. Be careful, the market is pricing in another interest rate cut. I mentioned 25 basis points a few weeks ago and another 25 in December. It's getting tricky. The bond market, I'll show you this. Again, when we look at it, this is the bond market. It doesn't look good. There is no longer any interest in buying these bonds. These are debt securities. This is basically what the US government sells to raise money, and the interest is declining. Unlikely. We had the BRIC summit moving away from the dollar. They don't want to compete against the dollar now, so they won't use it anymore because they want to trade with their own currencies. I am skeptical about the world economy. I tell you this honestly, I am very skeptical. Therefore, if we see some momentum here, the numbers should look really good. I definitely believe we will indeed see the job market numbers this week, as well as the consumer confidence index or whatever else is coming. I expect the Americans to show very positive data because no one wants trouble before the election, and Kamala Harris needs some good news. Be careful. When a bull run occurs, definitely take profits. If I'm wrong, I will take profits and not cash out everything, but I will definitely take profits. If it goes down again, I have the opportunity to live and maybe buy a little more, perhaps with a lot of luck. On the other hand, if it completely crashes, I have nothing and will have to wait again until everything calms down, until applications in crypto start, and it's once again, I guess, a good year away. Up to ISO and CBDCs, networking, so please be careful and take profits. A bird in the hand is worth more than a pigeon on the roof. And with that, I sincerely wish you to be, stay, and remain healthy. We might see each other in the next video at 7:30 p.m.
Clock. And I am bullish. Bye, friends. And the Federal Reserve began seeking faster payment options.
2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It revealed a company that was focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, World Bank, Better Than Cash Alliance, Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, governments of 32 countries published a report, Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, the Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, companies, Better Than Cash Alliance website, and UN's exchange. What is the crypto that uses XRP? In 2025, a new standard for electronic financial negotiations, ISO 2022, will be adopted. Who was the first ISO 2022 member to focus on negotiation technology? Ripple, which has partnered with over 300 banks, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Standard SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, and major banks in India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, Indonesia, Japan, Canada, Egypt, Middle East, UAE, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and LATAM. Ripple, a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, a former employee overseeing BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, an advisor to Obama. Of the fans and economics in Germany, from the business characters Swift von MySwift board, Bamboo Seattle, PayPal, from the DTCCC von Rochi business offers about the VPM is one. From the Resi CC and legal team Rapper, who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Tower Project, Digital Europe, Social Mobile, IMAPS, High Level Advisory, Border, and Panther Sorting. Open Pamelition Baster Payments, Mobile Payment Style Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted World Chain Applications, Crypto Climate Cold University Blood Challenge, featured Poco, the World in Canada floor with 3 memes of the Cham director This It on the Job iWeb website. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.